What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys have all been doing well. Welcome back to the channel. So for today's agenda, we're still doing a little bit of drift prep, like I said in the last video. A few minor things. Brake pads did show up, and my tires did show up. So the E36 will be getting a new set of wheels. So next thing we got to do is load these things up in the truck over there and head on over to the tire shop. Alright, so we're on our way. We're going to a small little tire shop that's just on the other side of the freeway over here. Normally they're not super busy. One of my other friends tried to take some wheels to another shop that's close by, and he wasn't going to get them done until tomorrow. So we're going to head over to this other shop and hopefully they can get them done today. So unfortunately we did have to drop them off, but they should have them done in the next hour or two. Probably eat. I haven't eaten yet today, so gotta make sure I eat. We'll start working on the E36, and then we'll get a call from the shop and we'll be able to go pick up our wheels and throw them on the car, see what they look like. So got some food. Pretty much once I was done eating, the shop over here went ahead and gave me a call and said that they're already ready, so it didn't take that long, which is great. So we're gonna head there, pick those up, and then head back to the house and start working on the rest of the stuff on the car. Alright guys, it is the next day. We did get our wheels back from the tire shop, of course. Sorry for the wind noise. The Santa Ana's came through and it's kind of hard to pick up everything without picking up wind. So these are 9.5, these are 8.5. So on the 8.5 we did run with the, there it is, we ran with the 215/40, 18 of course. This should help with the clearance in the front of the car where I'm always like rubbing the inside of the fender because I'm running like 9.5s in the back of the car. Now we're running 8.5s. We're still gonna run the spacer, but that should definitely help with no rubbing or binding in the front. And then 9.5s in the back like usual. And these are the same that I run. Now they are 225/40 18s. Just gotta come over here and hop in the car, fire it up, pull it in the garage. Well, that's embarrassing. Got her started. Guess the battery was a little low from sitting for a couple days. Gonna have to see why that happened. It's a fresh battery, I don't know why. So, got the car in the garage now, as you can see. I'm gonna let this idle for a little bit, try to charge up the battery. I'll probably put it on a battery tender too, just to make sure that the battery is actually charged. That way we can shut the garage and it won't smell in here. So if you guys don't have one of these, I'd recommend getting one. If you don't drive your car super often, or you let your car sit for too long, these things are good. Pretty much super simple. Of course, you got your standard negative and your positive here. They go on the battery. And then this end, of course, plugs into an outlet. And then there's different settings on here for mode. You can just keep it with power, for motorcycle batteries, car batteries. Now you guys should be able to see. So there's our ground cable. And you can always make sure it's a ground by following the line back and seeing that it connects somewhere on the body, which it connects right there. This guy, let's see if I can point, this guy right here, That's our ground, so it connects to the chassis. You double check, make sure it goes to the ground on your battery. I'm gonna start by cleaning these things because they're absolutely filthy. Haven't decided yet if I want to paint these. I kind of want to paint them white. Kind of don't know what color to paint them. Maybe just leave them this color. I don't know, we'll see how they look on the car. But maybe your guys' input, maybe white, maybe keep it this color, maybe go with a lighter silver. Drop a comment below. A rag, got it out of the soap here. Just go ahead and clean these things. I don't even remember the last time my brother actually cleaned these, so. The wheel's on, but my brake pads finally showed up, so we can replace the e-brake handle. E-brakes. So the ones that go to the hydro. Got some new clips and the new pads here. I want ceramic pads just to see if they have a little bit more bite, because like I said, these are the ones that are on here are stock, and their pads are probably just as old. I'm not sure. I just put them in there because that's what I had at the time. Now we got to upgrade because we do need a little bit more bite on our handbrake. This thing here, we're pretty much going to try to find a place to mount it in the car here, so that way it doesn't interfere with anything and I can still shift and pull the handbrake without any problem. And this still needs to be able to stay out of the way. Sorry, get this out of the way. This still needs to be able to come down all the way because I still do use this handbrake when I do park the car, instead of just leaving it in gear on the gear. So we gotta find somewhere this will mount, not kind of interfere with this line. Might be able to tuck this line over here. Might have to adjust this just a little bit. But this is the location that I think would be a safer bet. Easier next to the driver, easy for me to grab, hop out the car in case of an emergency or if anything happens. So let's hope that doesn't happen, but we'll have one just in case. Alright guys, so here are the brake pads. I'm gonna go ahead and open these things up so we can find what side is left or right. Definitely not supposed to do that, but we're okay. It looks fine. And I'm pretty sure one side has this little clip hinge here that goes into the piston that's in there, and then the flat side obviously goes out to this side here that you can see. Alright, so it's pretty simple. You just come in here, take that clip off, watch out, it will fly. I have to get a 7mm Allen key. I actually happen to have a key, and this actually works better than having a socket, because back here on the back side of the caliper, you have to take out the bolts to the actual slider that's here that this sits in. You're gonna put this in back here on the back side, and you're gonna loosen them up. That way you can pry on this just a little bit, compress the cylinder that's back here, so that way you can get this caliper off. What I'm doing is I'm just sticking the screwdriver on the back side of the rotor here, which is against brake pad here, and you just pry once you get onto the brake pad itself. That way you can compress the piston that's back here and release all the pressure that is on the caliper here. You have to pull these bolts out of the sliders on the back side out completely. So I'm just gonna sit here and loosen this thing by hand. It's gonna take forever. So and this is what it looks like. Threads on the end, Allen on the back side. Now I gotta sit here and crank this top one little by little. And the second one's out just like that. So now what that allows you to do is come here and pull this off completely. Go ahead and pop this guy out of here. So as you can tell, they're pretty like old and grimy. So we're actually going to put a little bit of fluid here on the backside, and what that does is it eliminates, we'll put that on the new pad, it just eliminates any type of squeaking. It's your choice really to use it. I usually just put like a little dab here and a little dab here, and it seems to work out just fine. You just kind of have to pop this clip back into there like so. We'll go ahead and take this one out. Just go ahead and take this guy. Put them right on like so. Now you just gotta line these guys up in the backside and then tighten them in. So for whatever reason, this spacer here that I was using on the front doesn't quite pair up with these wheels here, these TEs. Now they are 5x120, these are 5x120, so I don't know why they wouldn't work, but they fit the hole. I'm gonna put this bolt on. You can get them on, but there's not enough room to get a socket on the backside here, so. It's so horrible. Look at this. What's going on, guys? So it is the next day. Ran into a problem with the front wheel fitting on the card here and trying to run my spacer. There's the spacer. So the problem that's happening is this size nut here is a 19 and the standard ones for the BMW are 17. So the problem is the spacer does fit and the wheel fits on the spacer. But these bolts, when they're mounted to the adapter here, they don't fit inside this hole to where I can get a socket around it. So I'm gonna have to head over to this company called Bronson. I think they're in San Bernardino. Pretty much they have all of this stuff, all the spacer stuff, pretty much anything like a tire shop would need. So we're gonna head there today, see if we can find some of these. Hopefully we can. That way we can actually get this fitment to look a lot better than what it's looking right now. Alright guys, so we finally got our slimmer hardware, so now I can see if the wheels will now fit with the spacers. So we have to, of course, take the wheel back off, put the spacer on, and see if these guys fit. And the hardware fits. So that's a plus. Heck yeah, means you don't have to run terrible fitment. Something like that. Still get a little bit of poke in the front, but still looks aggressive. Now we just gotta go and do the other side. With the wheels mounted now, the fronts have the spacer on, everything's good up there with the change of hardware. Last thing to do for today is we have to mount our fire extinguisher. Obviously it's a little bit of importance, you know, to have one, especially, you know, being out at the track or just having a car like this in general that you know things can happen with. The mount still is sitting here in the car. So I do have to figure out exactly which way or how I want to mount this in here first. And then we'll go ahead and put the two self-tappers through, one right there and one right there, to keep this thing snug in place from moving and going anywhere. Here I found the position that works. This line will stay tucked on the other side of the standard handbrake here. And this is far enough out of the way here that it's not going to interfere with, you know, the passenger or anything. And it's easy to try and reach back here and unstrap this so that way we can get the fire extinguisher out. So I'm going to go to mount this and then put this guy back in and see what it looks like. Alright guys, this thing's pretty much mounted in here. Quick pull of this strap. This comes out. It's out of the way from shifting and my handbrake, so I don't have to worry about any of that, and we're good. Alright, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the video. I just got to wash the outside of the car, clean the inside up, make it, you know, clean it up a little bit. It's been sitting outside. Other than that, the next video, you guys, we are going to be out at the track, out at Grange. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned if you guys want to check that out. Later. Just
writing lines cause I feel like the champ. Heavyweight, first place, who could expect to get slapped? I'm running laps round the competition, thinking of last. I just laugh, take a sip as I go and sit back. Got the almond in my coffee mixed with toffee, it's packed. Well, I stack as many rhymes in my mind for advance.